Here comes another midweek of action in the Championship for round 13. We're back once again to predict the outcome of each and every game. Make sure you get your predictions in via the comments down there. I love to hear how you think your team will go, but go one stage further for me and get your thoughts in on all the fixtures. Stay tuned to see how I went with my weekend predictions. Sheffield United versus QPR. Interesting one at Bramall Lane, where the Blades' hot run was slowed up by Birmingham, who drew there this past weekend. Interesting, because QPR are improving. They're up in the playoff spots and are coming off the back of 2 straight away wins. United have the advantage depth-wise, but we know Chair and Willock can even that up. Look, I always have the Blades winning at home, so for once, I won't. Draw! Reading versus Norwich. Second visit, third in the Championship, but although it's close in the table, I still think Reading are doing a brilliant job to be up there. The Royals have racked up more home points than anyone else in the division. Will that work against Norwich and their growingly influential midfielder, Nunez? Reading either win or get thrashed lately. I don't think either of those things happen, but I'm still back in Norwich. Away! Burnley versus Stoke. My immediate instinct is that Burnley will win this one, but I'm sure all of us have predicted wins for Burnley and then been wrong, despite the Clarets looking on top in most of their matches this season. I think we know what we get from Burnley. Maybe it depends more on Stoke, who had a bit of a chasing at Watford at the weekend. Can they bounce back against another parachute team? I think not. Home! Cardiff versus Blackburn. Good first result for interim boss Mark Hudson, grabbing a late equaliser against Burnley on Saturday. Cardiff, still a difficult one to judge given all the upheaval manager-wise. Same goes for Blackburn. I think they're good. The league position says so, but the lack of draws says that they're a bit up and down. I'll stick with the idea that Blackburn are good and stop trying to predict their first draw every week. Away! Watford versus Swansea. Slaven Bilic takes his home bow after winning 4-0 on debut at Stoke on Sunday. He's already implemented his Baggies promotion shape. Goals for Sarr and Davis in the first game, plus the return of Loser, all bodes well. Don't want to gloss over Swansea, who do seem to be improving, but with back-to-back wins over Hull and West Brom, I don't think the Hornets will be as giving. Home! Sunderland versus Blackpool. Sunderland are confusing me under Tony Mowbray. The data says they've been pretty clinical in front of goal. This despite losing their 2 strikers, Sims and Stewart. Long term, I'd worry about that sustaining. Blackpool seem to be getting 8 or 9/10 of the way there in recent weeks, but not quite executing. Sunderland probably have the edge with home advantage, but it does feel like 2 teams in imperfect moments. Draw! If you're enjoying the show, don't forget to hit the like button. We'll be partnered with BetMate again for the weekend predictions. Thank you to everybody who joined in this past weekend. The weekend pot for the Championship will be open very soon, so get involved using the code BLOOM5 for your £5.3 entry. More on that on Thursday. Luton versus Huddersfield. God, you know me, I hate ones like this where I feel confident of the outcome. I'll go with my instinct, but I'll also mention that the Championship is crazy as a bit of a disclaimer. Really liking Luton at the moment. Looks like they're back in last year's groove. Huddersfield, new boss, so the players are currently processing new ideas. Luton at home, keen for playoff revenge from last season. I'll say no more. All adds up to a home! Hull versus Wigan. Oh dear, this is 2 in a row where all the things I find meaningful indicators point me towards one team. That team would be Wigan. They are so good away from home, and Hull are just a bit of a mess right now. On a losing streak and in between managers. Famous last words, but I don't see Hull winning. Maybe their relative star power grabs them a point. I'm not so sure. Away! Rotherham versus Millwall. Now, had Paul Warne still been in charge, I'd have backed Rotherham's early season role to continue in this one, especially given Millwall's poor away record. Paul Warne is not there, and the Millers lost to away experts Wigan on Saturday. And look, even if Matt Taylor, as we expect, has been announced by kickoff, it might not impact immediately. Not sure I trust Millwall on the road enough for the win here, but I think they get something. Draw! Bristol City versus Coventry. Direction of travel here has Bristol City trending down and Coventry trending up. I'm not sure it's that simple though. Coventry will still be without Hamer and O'Hare, and Bristol City's losing streak has actually come against 2nd, 4th and 5th in the table. I think we might get a reversion to where the Robins were previously, and I do particularly trust their attackers to get goals. Home! Preston versus West Brom. Right, I'm going to break with tradition and do two things I should never do right now. One, I'm going to use emotions to analyse football. And two, I'm going to make it all about me. But I am absolutely fed up of predicting West Brom to turn the corner and just being wrong time after time. I know Preston hate goals, but I'm going to guarantee history is not going to repeat itself here and forecast what might be Brucey's last stand. Home! Middlesbrough versus Birmingham. Yet another game with managerial implications after the sacking of Chris Wilder on Monday. It's probably too soon for anyone to be installed at Borough, but if things had taken a negative turn mood-wise, maybe you'll get a response from the Borough players. Birmingham are in good nick. Great draw at Sheffield United at the weekend. And assuming there is no big reaction from a now liberated Borough squad without Wilder, I think they can repeat the trick, Blues. Draw! Get your predictions in via the comments and use your request to try and not get too upset if I or anyone else has the absolute audacity to suggest that your favourite football team might not win every single game that they take part in. Last time out, only 4 correct for me. If 6 is a pass and 5 is under par, then yeah, that's got to be a thumbs down, hasn't it? Obviously, not for the video though. That's a definite thumbs up if you haven't done it already. And it's a big thumbs up as always for the teams I predicted to lose last time, who ultimately won. So big shout out to Coventry and Swansea for proving me wrong. Well played, guys. Thank you for all the feedback on this here new setup. We are working on some soundproofing to make this empty box a little bit less boomy. I appreciate your patience on that. If you want to go somewhere that's really boomy, what about the King Power Stadium in Leicester? I was there for Dearly Departed last night, so click right here to see my take on Leicester 4, Nottingham Forest 0. Ouch.